Hello everybody. Today I'll be reading a Donatello Reader story. If you want to read it yourself, I'll leave the information down in the description below. First off, I'd like to dedicate this story to its creator, Killer Bee Killed the Queen, on Wattpad, who sadly hasn't updated since 2023. And I'd also like to give credit to, and forgive me if I pronounced it wrong, XX Leonardox for the background video. I cannot take that credit for myself. I'll be leaving them in the description below as well. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the video. Chapter 1. Dying is not fun. I don't know if you knew that until last night. Maybe you figured that since it was romanticized so much that it would not suck as much as it clearly, very obviously did. Maybe you dreamed of dying relatively peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. Alas, those dreams were dashed last night when you, oh so wise Yen, decided that you were going to try baking and forgot the most essential step, taking the thing out of the oven. You remember that night so clearly, the screams of your family, begging for their lives, still bouncing around in your ears like torturous golf ball that made a habit of forcing itself into your throat, the feeling of your hair catching alight as your skin bubbled and charred, and rational thought became a foreign concept. You don't remember if you died from a heart attack or hypothermia or smoke inhalation, but you had a general idea that, yes, that night had been your last on Earth. So where the fuck are you? You put yourself into a sitting position, your back pressed against something hard as your eyes struggled to adjust to the darkness. The air smelled like rotten food and exhaust engines as you pulled yourself off the concrete, looking around the alleyway that you had found yourself in. It's small, narrow, unremarkable in every way, with graffiti-covered dumpsters near the entrance. Dazed, confused, and generally out of sorts, you make your way to the entrance, patting yourself down for injuries you didn't seem to have. You rub the side of your face with your hand. My head is killing me. You slip your hand into your jacket pocket, feeling a key and a piece of paper. God damn it, it's cold in this alley. You zip up your jacket, walking out into the open as you pull the note out, beginning to read. Dear Yen, you mumble as you read, we are pleased to inform you of your acceptance into our transference program. Yada yada yada, whoop-de-doo. You skim ahead of some introductory jargon before near the point of the note. From this point forward, enjoy your permanent residence at 10 West 15th Street, apartment number 622, New York. Wait, New York? You blink. That's not my address. You pull out the key. Wait, hold on. Your eyebrows furrowed. New York? Wait, I was dead, wasn't I? Your eyes become unfocused. I don't live anywhere near New York City. Where am I? You look around for some sort of landmark, street name, anything to give you an idea of where you are. You hear a car. You hear a car squeal to a stop on the street corner in front of you, snapping you out of your stupor. As identical men start climbing out of the back of the vehicle, all marching deliberately toward you. A 15-year-old girl. Your immediate reaction is to run like hell. Unfortunately for you, apparently your speed was not compatible to that of the men who quickly apprehended you, scooping you up and dragging you, kicking and screaming, into the van. You hear vaguely familiar voices outside, but your focus is less on the mayhem and more on the pressing matter of getting yourself out of the van. You pound at the door, feeling for any sort of locks on the inside. Something anything to get you out of the van, still screaming your head off as you hope whoever was outside had the common sense to call 911. You feel your eyelids droop as your breathing slows, your voice dying as your pounding becomes less intense. You slide to your knees, eyes closed, even as you mentally scream at yourself to get up. Keep at it. You pass out. You wake up, laid on the floor this time, the pulsing of electricity above your head almost soothing as you open your eyes. You stagger to your feet, looking around your well-lit enclosure. Pink fluorescent lights lining the ceiling and walls like artistries. After taking note of your new bruises and checking to see if you still have your few personal belongings, you do. You ran over to the door, eyes fixed on the mind-boggling, ridiculous scene taking place in front of you. Oh, for fuck's sake. You back away from the slot in the door, trying to process the blatant LARPing headistry. You had not thought that you would honestly be able to say that, apparently, you were kidnapped by some frickin' Krang. Yet, in some stroke of tomfoolery on behalf of whatever deity controls your universe, you have, obviously, been kidnapped by some seriously hardcore cosplayers. If nothing else, you must admire the obvious advanced setup. You run your fingers through your hair, chuckling almost manically. So, you say to yourself aloud, I got kidnapped by some TMNT fanboys. Great. Fantastic, even. You pace around the room, throwing your hands up in exasperation. I guess that makes me April O'Neil, huh? Cool. Real cool. Your voice is extremely tight as you shake with intense, mostly negative emotions. So I'm somewhere in New York, kidnapped by the Krang, in the worst convention ever. Let me guess. You laugh, losing your mind a little as you speak to nobody. I'm gonna have a run-in with the teenage fucking Ninja Turtles next, right? As if on cue, you hear laser blast and shinking metal. The high-pitched beeping The high-pitched beeping of an alarm sounds as you hear people, male teenagers, fuck my life, talking about power or something as their footsteps approach your room. You pound on the door. Hey, over here! You see a brown set of eyes looking in through the window, and your suspicions are confirmed. Definitely TMNT LARPing. We found her, the owner says. We found her, the owner of these eyes say. The one cosplaying as Donatello calls to the others. Lasers shoot by his head as he turns to stare death in the eyes. We'll hold them off. You pick the lock. Leonardo. You breathe a soft sigh of relief. If nothing else, you are apparently on the side of the people trying to get you out of this game. You hear footsteps coming toward the firing. Don't worry, Donatello reassures you, voice tight with apparent anxiety. I'll have you out of there in no second. In just a second. Thanks, Donnie. You give him a half-hearted thumbs up, trying to see what he was doing through the window. Take your time. His eyebrows furrow. Wait, how do you know my name? You sigh. Look, man, I don't know the script for the first episode by heart. You're gonna have to cut me some slack for not being off-book. For being a little off-book. Off what? He stares at you blankly. You purse your lips. I'll explain if you get me out. You promise. Just pick the lock before the blue ones give you shit. Oh, right. The lock. He nods, grasping onto the logical thing you said, and leaning down to start working on the alien technology. He pulls the cover off a control panel by the door, starting to fiddle with the wires. You lean against the door, watching him work curiously. You hear the battle cries of Michelangelo, and the toppling of robots as he works, clearly focused on his task. You zone out again. This is some serious shit, you mumble. He mutters in frustration. The one dressed as Raph marches over, more impatient. Oh, for the love of... Get out of my way, he snarls, proceeding to take a very real-looking sigh out and stabbing the panel with a very in-character ferocity. You almost feel the urge to applaud the acting, and you might have, if this weren't such a high-stakes situation. The door in front of you and behind you open at the same time, and deciding against getting captured again, you remember something about hanging from a helicopter in that scenario and wanted absolutely nothing to do with that. You run alongside the turtles like your life depends on it, stumbling to a halt once you reach outside and slamming the doors closed behind you, blocking it with your back. Your feet scramble to gain some traction on the cement. Donnie, you snap, almost impressed by the force used to pound against the doors. Put your staff in the handles of the door. We gotta go, ASAP. Wait, hold up. The one dressed as Raph jabs his thumbs toward you. How do you know his name? You groan. It's the Ninja Turtles. It's not fucking Happy Sugar Life. Get the thing in the thing before the vine thing kills us. The what? Donnie and Raph seem much more confused than before, staring at you inquisitively and angrily, respectively. Guys? Mikey points. I think she means that vine thing. From the shadows emerges a towering creature made of plant life, its vine-like limbs draping across the ground like roots as it rears its ugly head, its exposed, pulsating heart pressing against what remains of the creature's ribcage. You did this to me, it growls. Now you're going to pay. You cut Leo off. Snake guy, mutated into weed. If you want to kill it, go for the heart. He looks back at you, joining the other two pairs of piercing stares. Cut that out. Then don't monologue and kill it before it has mobility. On it, Raph charges at its lumbering form, and within moments it falls to the ground in a heap. The pounding against the door is getting more intense. Donnie, staff! Right! He runs over, sliding his staff in between the door handles. You stumble forward, the pounding already starting to crack the wood. Alright, now we can leave. Without waiting for the others, you sprint away from the building like your life depends on it. The others, clearly confused, follow. You get a fair few city blocks away before you slow down, breathing heavily, and palms stampled with the outline of the key you were holding desperately onto. You run really fast for cosplayers, you pant, with all the pain and all. Yeah, about that. Donatello stops next to you, 1,000 questions apparently swimming around in his head. How do you know our names? His mouth moves a mile a minute. How do you know the weakness of that vine creature? What do you mean, cosplay? Who are you? Who were they? You cut him off, one question at a time. Hot stuff. Deep breaths. His pupils dilate. That hot stuff? Leo cuts in. How did you know what we were, cosplaying? He asks tentatively. Smart word. Odd time to cut the act, but alright. Your heart rate lowers to a decent pace as your mind still struggles to comprehend what had just happened. You slow your breathing. You explain, gesturing with your hands. It's just TMNT, it's iconic. Iconic? He nods. Well, since you know so much about it, why don't we test your knowledge to see if you know you're a real fan? You think... to see if you're a real fan. You think I'm hot? Says Donnie in the background, still baffled. I don't see the point, but I'm down. You shrug, deciding to ignore the melting turtle for a second. Shoot. He thinks for a moment. Who's the main character? You shrug. You four, I guess. Mikey jumped in. What's the theme song? Gonna have to be more specific there, buddy. Is it really a great idea to just talk out here in the open? Raph crossed his arms across his front. Probably not. You look around. Unless you have a map on you, I'd suggest we go back to the lair. Your lair. Or, what kind of stalker... Look, honey, you sigh. If we're gonna go over every aspect of the lives of the turtles that... Look, honey, you sigh. If we're going to go over every aspect of their lives that I know about, we're going to be here for a long time. For our purposes, just assume I know everything I need to know, and if you're curious about specifics, we'll go on a case-by-case basis. You start walking down the sidewalk. I'm guessing you guys hang out in the sewer, right? You feel almost tempted to say that they're just flat-out psychotic. Their blatant conviction in their own characters, almost frightening. I've heard of kinning, you think, pulling out a manhole cover you see at the end of an alley and wincing at the smell. This is ridiculous. You blink at the surprising lack of weight. Yeah, Mikey, no, the Michelangelo cosplayer, walked over, already hopping in. Our show must be super popular, right? Who's the favorite character? How long have we been running? You guys are... You stop talking. Wait, what year is it? You start climbing down. 2012. Why? You step off the ladder, starting to walk behind him as he leads the way. Well, it's not 2012 where I'm from. It's 2020. Wait, hold up. He turns around to face you as he walks. You're from the future? That is so freaking awesome! You rub the back of your neck, trying to ignore the smell. I mean, you confess. Being from the future would be cooler if I was from a better time, I guess. I wonder where they... You shake your head. But if we're running on the same time, I'd only be about 7, I think. So it's pretty cool I get to be here, I guess. Dude, totally! He turns a corner. Our first day on top and we meet a time traveler? Totally. A voice from behind you makes you jump. If what she's saying is true, she somehow also knows interdimensional travel as well. Motherfucking ninja cosplayers, focus. Don't let them pull you in, too. Well, I really wouldn't say. Guys, is there not a clearly bigger concern on our hands? You were already getting sick of not hearing footsteps. Like, say, I don't know, the fact she's claiming we're fictional characters. Look, man, you roll your eyes. I already said I'm more than happy to answer any questions I can. In fact, you continued, stopping in your tracks as you stared the red-clad turtle in the eye. I'll even stay put until we sort this whole situation out. Fine by me, said Leo and Raph, both facing you. Eyes boring into your soul as you stand there, albeit awkwardly. Let's start off with the basics. Leo's tone is awfully light compared to his blatant skepticism. What is everyone's name? You force yourself not to roll your eyes again. You're all Hamados. You point at the tall one with the gap in his teeth. That one's Donatello, the yellow one next to him is Michelangelo, and you point at the red one with the broader shoulders, are Raphael, and the sensei-appointed leader is Leonardo. Easy. Leonardo nods. Okay, you got the easy one. It is at times like these that you wish you could read people. What are we? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? You don't have to hesitate. It's an obvious answer. How did we become the way we are? Splinter had a Krang run in and you guys got ooze on you or something. Last thing you touched, you transformed. was a person. Last thing you touched before you got transformed was a person, so you became turtle-human hybrids. You rest a hand on your hip. Oh, happy birthday, by the way. A sea of blank faces face you. Wait, you know who those things are? Donatello is the first to speak after a pregnant pause. Well, yeah, you shrug, the reality of the situation not yet dawning on you. They almost take over the world in at least 2 season finales. They what? Yeah, you stick your hands into your pockets, fingering the key and note, confused by their apparent horror. I mean, I'm still on season 3 finale, but alien invasion in this show's bread and butter for the most part. What? Raphael appears to be having a stroke. What? Huh? What the? Is he okay? You look completely unconcerned at Donatello, who is swaying on his feet. Alien invasion. You blink, walking over to him and placing your hand on his cheek. You were surprised at the feeling of skin under your palm. Not face paint. You look his incredibly pale face. Over curiously. Not a mask. Oh. Your fingers slide down and off his jaw, falling slackly. You weren't joking, were you? If nothing else, he seems less concerned than he did a second ago. Leonardo, the actual hold a minute, grabs your shoulder. This isn't a joke. His face is stone. You're being serious, right? You feel the blood drain from your face. Sadly, yes. You force yourself to take deep breaths as to not pass out. But on the bright side, you smile weakly, I can guarantee your survival for at least a few months. What do you mean a few months? Raphael is shaking as he yells, his voice roar echoing in the enclosed space. How is it only... What the hell? The show only ran over the course of in-universe year. The show only ran over the course of an in-universe year. You fight to keep your voice steady as dread seizes your throat. I don't know what happens after that year is up, or if it even lasts the whole year. So we have less than 12 months to live? This is so not cool. Michelangelo is having a bit of a mental breakdown. So not cool. Hey, it's not a guarantee. You put your hands up reassuringly. That's just how long the show runs. Besides, it's a kids' show. There's no way they'd kill off the main characters. Who the hell is they? Nickelodeon? Who the fuck is Nickelodeon? You groan. Look, I'm just saying that you four are definitely going to survive the next few months. Your voice rises easily to his volume. I don't know what happens after those months are up. I haven't gotten to that part yet. Why the hell not? You run your fingers through your hair, laughing incredulously. What do you think? I just know what's gonna happen, and you just think I knew I was gonna meet the real-life Ninja Turtles? And have a chance to plan accordingly? I mean, come on. You throw your hands up in the air. I died last night, and now I'm here. Hell, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going to go. Fuck knowing who's going to get the fucking axe between now and the series finale. Will you two both cut it out? Leo snapped, shutting you both up. You put your hands up, still fuming and glaring at Raphael. He responds in kind. What's your name? He looks at you. Yen Lin. Your breathing slows slightly. Alright, Yen. You said you've seen up to season 3, right? Yeah, you nod at the leader. Meaning you know what's going to happen in the next few months, right? You nod, again. He thinks for a moment. Then we need to stay in contact. If what you're saying is true, your knowledge of our show could be extremely valuable to us. You rub your eyes with your hands, sighing, trying to cool down. I can do that. You put your hands down. If nothing else, I'm more happy to offer up emotional support. The next few months are going to be extremely physically and emotionally difficult for you guys. Donnie pipes up. Do you have a place to stay? You pull out the piece of paper. I have an address and key, but I don't know my way around New York City. You smile sheepishly at the unintentional rhyme. Do you guys know where 10 West 15th Street... Wait. It's your guys' first day. Crap. You nod. I forgot. It's alright. Donatello is oddly quick to say. If you want, I mean, we can help you find it. You rub your arm, your previous indignant. You rub your arm, your previous indignance replaced with extreme embarrassment at your previous actions. Nah, it's alright. You reassure him. I'm sure I can find a map or something. It's really not safe just to wander around New York so late. You pause at that. That's an extremely good point. You nod. Alright, but I owe you guys dinner or something for trusting me with this so far. Also, you smile teasingly. What you're currently eating is legitimately revolting. I'm into that. Raphael, if nothing else, seems to have calmed down. Mikey hopped in. Oh, we just found this crazy awesome food. I can order pizza. You interrupt. He punches the air excitedly. Let's go! If you want, you can sleep on the couch for tonight, Leonardo offers. It's going to get late pretty soon, and we really shouldn't be seen. You shrug. You shrug. Works for me. As you follow the teenagers down the sewer, conversing as you walk, you take a moment to reflect on all that has happened so far. A part of you, oddly enough, is almost excited by the prospect of spending time with these guys, but a stronger, darker part reminds you sweetly of the dangers you knew lay ahead. You close your eyes. I'm never going to see my family again, am I? How that is the least of your worries, you don't know. AN, pregnant, full meaning, significant or suggestive, in case anyone was wondering. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come back to listen to Chapter 2, which I hope to be posting soon. Love you guys. Like and subscribe. Mwah.